This is Sakar Murli of 22nd of July 2025. Morning Murli Bab Dada Madhuban. Essence. Sweet children, the foundations of your study is purity. Only when there is a purity are you able to fill yourself with the power of yoga. Only when there is a power of yoga will there be a power in your words. Question. What full effort must you children make? Answer. Make full effort to remove the burdens of the sin on your heads. If, after belonging to the Father, you committed any sin, you will fall very hard. If you cause the beasts to be defamed or cause them any other difficulty, you will accumulate a lot of sin. There will then be no benefit in your listening to or relating this knowledge. Om Shanti. The spiritual father explains to you children how you can become a pure from impure and become the master of the pure world. The pure world of heaven is also called the land of Vishnu and the kingdom of the Lakshmi and Narayan. Vishnu means the combined from Lakshmi and Narayan that has been dispelled. This is why explanations is given in that way. However, when they worship Vishnu, they don't understand who is he. They also worship Mahalakshmi, but they don't understand who is she either. Baba now explains to you children in a various way. Imbibe this very well. Some people believe that the Supreme Souls know everything, that whatever we do, whether good or bad, he is not it all. That is called a feeling of behind fear. God doesn't know about those things. You children know that God is a purifier, the one who is purifies the impure. He purifies you and then makes you into the masters of the heaven. Those who study well will claim a high status, but don't think that the Father knows what is in each one's heart. That is called being senseless. Whatever actions humans beings perform, they definitely receive the return of them, whether good or bad, according to the drama. The Father has no connections with that. You should never think that Baba knows everything anyway. There are many who indulge in the vice and continue to the commit sin, and who still come here or go to the centers. They think Baba knows anyway. However, Baba says, I don't do that business. Their understanding of the word Jani Jana Har, one who knows the secrets within, is wrong. You call out to the Father to come and make you pure from impure and to make you into the master of heaven. Because of many sins of many births of in your heads, there are also a sin of this birth. You have to confess your sin of this birth. Many have committed such a sins that they find it very difficult to become a pure. The main thing is to become a pure. This study is very easy, but you have to make effort as to how to remove the burdens of sin. There are many who committed a lot of sin and thereby do a lot of disservice. They try to cause difficulties for the Brahmakumaris ashram. They accumulate a lot of sin by doing that. Sins cannot be erased by giving this knowledge to others. Only by having yoga can sins be erased. First of all, make full effort to have yoga, for only then will be an arrow strike someone. Only when you first become a pure and have yoga can there be a that power in your words. Otherwise, no matter how much you experience to other, an arrow will be not strike them. Therefore, it will not enter their intellects. There are the sin of many births. The sin that are committed now become such a greater than a sin of many previous births. This is why it is said, those who defame the Satguru cannot reach their destinations. That one is the true Baba, the true teacher and the true Guru. The father says, those who cause the Brahmakumaris to defame will also accumulate a lot of sin. First of all, you have to become a pure yourselves. Some have a lot of interest in explaining to others, but there isn't a penny worth of yoga. Therefore, what benefit would there be? The father says the main thing is to become a pure by having remembrance. People call out in the order to become a pure. On the path of devotions, they have developed the habits of simply stumbling around and making a lot of unnecessary noise. They pray to God, but God doesn't have ears. How could he hear or say anything without ears or a mouth? He is awake stubble. All of that is blind faith. The more you remember the Father, the more you will be able to absorb of your sin. Don't think that the Father knows everything, that this one is remembering me a great deal, or that one is remembering me very little. Each of you has looked at your own chart. The Father has told you it is only by having remembrance that you will be absolved of your sin. Baba also asks you how much you remember him. This is also be a sin from your behavior. You cannot be absolved of your sin other than by having remembrance. It isn't that when you related knowledge to someone, yours or his sins will be cut away. No, it's only when you yourselves stay in remembrance that your sins be cut away. The main thing is to become a pure. The Father says, now that you belong to me, don't commit any sins, otherwise you will fall very badly. You will then have no hope at all of claiming a high status. When you explaining to many at exemptions, you become a very happy, thinking that you have done a lot of service. However, the Father says, first of all, you must at least become a pure. Remember the Father, many fail in having remembrance. This knowledge is very easy. You simply have to know the cycle of 84 births. In other study, they have to study mathematics and make penalty of effort. What will they earn? If someone dies while studying, their study is finished. When you stay in a remembrance, you are able to imbibe this knowledge by your not becoming pure and having your sin rest. There would be a lot of punishment experience. Don't take that your remembrance reach Baba's anyway. What would Baba do with it? If you remember Baba, you become a pure. What does Baba have to do with that? What Baba says, well done to you. Many children say, I constantly remember the Father. Who else do I have apart from him? They continue to tell lies in this way. A lot of effort is required for remembrance. They can't even understand whether they are remembering Baba or not. Acknowledging, they say that they are constantly in the remembrance. No one can become a master of the world and claim a high status without making effort. Only when you have the power of remembrance are you able to do service. Then it will be a seen how much service you have done and how many subjects you have created. There has to be an account of that. How many have I made to equal myself? You have to create a subject first, only then can you claim a royal status. There isn't any of that at the moment. Only when you stay in a yoga and fill yourself with that power will an arrow strike someone accurate. It is mentioned in the scriptures, Mahabharata that Bhishampatama Mai and Dronacharya etc. receive knowledge at the end when all impurity has been removed from the soul and that soul has become a Satopradhan. There will be a power in that soul and the arrows will quickly strike others. Never think that Baba knows everything. Why would Baba need to know anything? Those who do something receive the reward of that Baba continues to observe everything as the detached observer. Some write to Baba, Baba, I want to such and such a place to do service. Baba asks, first of all, are you staying on a pilgrimage of remembrance? The first thing you must do is to break away from everyone else and connect yourselves to the one Father. You have to become a soul conscious even while living at home. You have to consider this world and your bodies to be old. Everything is going to be destroyed. We are only concerned with the Father and his inheritance. Baba is not telling you not to stay at home with your family or not to talk to anyone. Some ask Baba if they can go to someone's meeting. Baba says, you may go. Go there and do service. Your intellect should be connected in your yoga to shivbaba. Only with the power of remembrance can sin of many births be burned away. If you continue to commit sin here too, there will be a great deal of punishment. If, while becoming pure, someone falls because of vice, he dies. He would be totally crushed. By your not following Srimad, there is a great deal of loss. Srimad has to be taken at every step. Some committed such a sins that they are unable to have yoga. They are unable to have remembrance. If they then go and tell to others that God has come and that they should go and claim their inheritance from him, they wouldn't be believed them. No, arrow would strike them. Baba has told you to give this knowledge to the devotees and not to the wasted on those who don't want it. Otherwise, this will cause more defamations. Some children ask Baba, Baba, I have the habit of donating. What should I do now that I am on the path of this knowledge? Baba, I advise you, children, there are many others who will continue to donate to the poor. Poor people are not dying of starvations. Even religious bigger fakirs have penalty of money. Therefore, your intellect should be moved away from all of these things. You need to be very cautious about giving donations. There are many who continue to perform such actions. Don't even ask. They don't even realize that the burdens of sin on their heads are becoming heavier. The path of this knowledge is not just fun and games. Dharmraj is with the Father. A lot of punishment will have to be experienced from Dharmraj. It is said you will know everything when Dharmraj takes the final account. It doesn't take a lot of time to experience the punishment of many births. Baba has also explained to you the example of sacrificing oneself at Kashi. That belongs to the path of devotion, where here it is the path of this knowledge. Offering human sacrifice to is fixed in the drama. All of those things have to be understood. Don't ask why this drama was created or why we are brought into the cycle. Everyone has to continue to come into the cycle. This drama is predestined. If you didn't come into the cycle, there would be no world. There cannot be internal liberations. Even the principal one cannot have an external liberations. The cycle will turn in this same way after 5,000 years. This is in drama. No one can receive a status just by explaining or giving this knowledge to others. First of all, you have to become pure from impure. Don't think that Baba knows everything. What would Baba do by knowing everything? First of all, you souls know what you do according to the Srimad and to what extent you remember Baba. What benefit would there be by Baba knowing all of that? Whatever you do, you receive the reward of that. Baba can tell from how you can act from service you do, whether you do good service. So and so has performed any sinful acts, even the after belonging to the Father. Therefore, there is no power in the knowledge that is person scheming. This sort of the knowledge must have been a sharpness of the power of the remembrance. With the power of yoga, you gain victory over the whole world. With this knowledge, you claim a high status in that new world. First of all, become a pure. Unless you become a pure, you cannot claim a high status. You come here to charge from ordinary humans into the Narayan. Impure ones cannot become a Narayan. You have to use the correct method to become a pure. Even some especially blind children who looks after centers have to make a lot of effort for this, because they don't make this effort. There isn't that power on those souls, and no arrow can then strike them the target. There isn't the pilgrimage of the remember. They just explains too many exemptions. First, you must become a pure by having remembrance, then there is a knowledge. When you become a pure, you become able to imbibe this knowledge. Impure ones are unable to imbibe this knowledge. The main subject is remembrance. There are various subjects in a worldly study. People come to you to become a Brahmakumaris and Kumaris. To become a Brahmakumar or Kumaris, a brother or sister, is not like going to your auntie's home. You mustn't become this just in name. In order to become a deity, you first definitely have to become a pure. Then after that, there is also this study. If you only study but you don't become a pure, you can't claim a high status. Pure souls are needed. Only when you become a pure, you claim a high status in that pure world. Baba emphasizes purity a great deal. Unless you maintain a purity, you cannot give this knowledge to anyone. However, Baba doesn't look at anything. He is sitting here himself and explaining everything. On the path of devotions, people receive a reward for their devotions. That too is fixed in the drama. How would the Father speak without a body? How would he listen to anyone? It is when a soul has body that he can speak and hear. The Father says, I don't have any organs, therefore how could I listen to anyone or know anything? Some believe that Baba's knows when they indulge in vice, that if he didn't know, they wouldn't consider him to be a god. There are many who are like that. The Father says, I have to come to show you the way become a pure. I see everything as the detached observer. It can be a scene from a child behavior, whether he or she is worthy or unworthy. You have to give the proof of the service you do. You also know that you receive the reward of whatever you do. If you follow Shrimad, you become elevated. If you don't follow Shrimad, you become deity and fall. If you need to ask something, ask it clearly. There is no question of behind faith. Baba simply asks, if you don't have a power of the remembrance, how would you become a pure? Some committed such a sins even in this birth. Don't even ask. This is the world of the sinful souls, where the golden age is the world of charitable souls. This is the conference age. Some have such a dull heads that they are unable to imbibe anything. They are unable to remember Baba. It will then to be late, because the haystack will be set on the fire, and they will unable to stay in a yoga. At that time there will be a very many cries of distress. Mountains of great sorrow are yet to fall. The only concern you should have is how to receive your fortune of the kingdom from the Father. Renounce body conscious and become engaged in doing service. Become benevolent. Don't waste your money. Never give donations to impure ones who are not worthy of receiving them. Otherwise, the one who gives the donation accumulates that burden. It isn't that you have to go out and beat drums saying that God has come. There are many such people in the Bharat who call themselves God. No one would believe you. You know that you have to receive enlightenment. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, and long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bab Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to spiritual children. The spiritual children say Namaste to spiritual father. Essence for dharna together with the studying. You definitely have to become a worthy and obedient child and give the proof of your service. Follow the Shrimad and make yourselves elevated too. Don't waste your money. Never give donations to impure. Donate the wealth of this knowledge to those who are worthy of it. Blessings. May you truly die alive and have a ceremony of your old sanskar. When a person dies, that body is cremated and thrown at the name and from completely finished. In same way, when you children die alive, then although your bodies are same, you have the ceremonies of your old sanskar, memories and nature. If someone who has been cremated appears to you, he is called a ghost. Here too, when the sanskars that have been cremated awaken and emerge again, they are evil spirits of Maya. Chase away those evil spirits and do not even talk about them. Slogan. Instead of the talking about the suffering of the karma bhog, talking about your stage of karma yoga. A signal. Accumulate the power of thoughts and becoming an instrument for elevated service. A king doesn't do the task himself, but he gets it done. The one who does it is the servant of the king. If a king's servants does not serve him properly, his kingdom then become unstable. Similarly, the soul is also the one who gets things done. The ones who carry out actions are the special Srimurti powers, the mind, intellects, and the sanskar. You should first have ruling the powers over these. Then your physical organs will naturally move along accordingly in the right way. Acha, Om Shanti.